26 years ago, I was sitting exactly where you were. I'm an alumna of the school. I'm a graduate of the school. And 26 years ago, basically, I was sitting just where you were. And at that time, I really, I didn't know if I really belonged there. I had a lot of questions. The people around me seemed so together, so inspiring, had done so many things, and I had some real questions because it's a really impressive group. And the answer today, as it was back then, is yes. Yes. Yes, you belong here. You are part of a very exciting community that is Nicholas. And we are happy to have you here, and we are happy to experience this journey with you together. So welcome. We have a lot planned for you during this orientation week, and I'm excited to begin this journey with you together. Our mission here in the Nicholas School is to create knowledge and global leaders of consequence for a sustainable future. And the way we end up doing that is through basic, applied, and multidisciplinary research in the physical, life, and social sciences designed to expand our understanding of Earth and the environment. As part of that journey, you and the MEM program, what we strive to do is combine the social and the natural sciences together. In bringing all those things together, we aim to create an orientation towards applied research and policy that will be innovative and impactful. We do this through 3 programs: our undergraduate, our professional master's program, and our PhD. You all are here as part of the professional master's program. So in that, we emphasize applied skills and tool building. Everything from GIS to modeling, conservation science, global climate science, and so on. You are all here for economics, policy, a variety of different areas. You are here to enhance your skill set, your tool set, and how you will take that tool set, enhance it, and move into your respective professions to do amazing things out there in the environmental realm. We have 2 other degree programs: our undergraduate program in Earth and Ocean Sciences, Environmental Sciences, and Marine Sciences. In that program, we aim to create a new generation of undergraduate students who are skilled in the earth sciences and the environmental and an environmental ethic, and a PhD program, a doctoral program that scans a variety of different areas. And with that program, we aim to create a new generation of scientists who will go out and conduct research and contribute to the educational mission, among other things, in the world. So it's just important that you understand that you are part of a larger project that we are embarking on here as part of the Nicholas School. Out here in this audience, you have a whole new cohort of new colleagues and friends. You are an amazingly diverse group that has, and the collective interest that has brought you here today is your concern and your passion for the environment. It is a purpose-led profession that you have chosen, and we are all bound together in that particular mission. We have a purpose. It's a little bit different than other kinds of professions. Out here today, we have students from 24 different countries, 38 different states, and I really urge you to get to know the folks that are here with you in your cohort. You will experience, while you are here, you are building a new professional network. The person sitting beside you may not be studying the same thing you are, and I really urge you to get to know what your classmates are doing outside of the area where you are studying. One of the most, you never know where your career is going to lead you, and if you get to know what people are doing outside of your area of study, you are building a network of people that you can tap into later. But even perhaps more importantly, the people beside you today are going to become friends that you will have for many decades to come. I can tell you that when I was a student here, the friends that I made while I was here at the Nicholas School 26 years ago are still some of my absolute closest friends today. We still get together over the summers, we still do professional events together, we still have fun together. We also network for professional reasons as well. And so for professional and personal reasons, the people in this room today will be special to you for a variety of reasons. So engage with them, get to know them, learn who they are. We've already talked a little bit about who's out there in the class, and I want to do a few call-outs just in terms of who is out there. I think it's important. We live in a world of identity politics these days, and even though we identify here as 60% female, 26% international, 18% minority, 7% LGBTQ, what's important to know is that right now we are 100% Nicholas. That's what bounds us as a community. That's what's actually bringing us together, our common concern for the environment and our desire to excel and be excellent in what we do. So even though we have these different identities, it's really important that we understand ourselves as a community. Some of your second-year colleagues have been out doing unbelievably amazing things over the summer. Some of them have been working on their master's projects. You might find your picture up here next year. You can sort of imagine what this might be like for you for next year. I want to call out a couple of the things that some students are doing, and these may be some of your pod leaders who have been with you the last couple of days, so you might see some familiar faces. And if you're not seeing familiar faces, I encourage you to seek out people and learn their story if you haven't learned them already. Bhargavi spent her summer at the National Wildlife Refuge Association in Washington, D.C., where she was part of a group that was really trying to work on urban green spaces, especially for and refuges for marginalized communities. Dinebo was studying India, was in India, studying with the Sanford School of Public Policy. What you should realize is that while we're the Nicholas School, we are Duke. There are many opportunities, not just within the Nicholas School, but throughout the university that you should seek out, and I think that's certainly what Dinebo ended up doing. Gordon had a rough time in Hawaii this summer. You know, hardship pay and all of those sorts of things, working, using his GIS skills, so that's the toolbox that he's creating, to try to identify where you could place solar farms looking at contaminated brownfield sites. So that's kind of a twofer. How can we use brownfield sites, and how can we begin placing solar farms throughout the islands in Hawaii? Alex is one of our Masters of Forestry students who has taken a leadership role in the Society of American Foresters. So he has been doing some work with the student groups in the Society of, how many here are the MF students? Where are MF students? Great, wonderful. So there's going to be a great Society of American Forester conference out in Oregon, in Portland, Oregon, this October. I intend to be there. It's a really great opportunity, and Alex is taking the lead on that, so he's somebody that you guys can connect with there. We have an amazing group who has been working with the United Nations. Sneha, Tasfea, Zainab, and Apurva have been working with the United Nations on corporate sustainability reporting and how to infuse that kind of corporate sustainability reporting into how we operate in higher education. So a really exciting project there, a group project there. One of the different options that you can pursue in terms of a master's project. And then Anna and Elena have been working right here in North Carolina. And if you haven't heard President Price talk, he has placed great emphasis on how we at Duke do a better job of reaching out in our home state. And they really embody this mission and that ethic. So what they have done is they've been working with middle school students to understand issues and challenges related to stormwater flow, and they are working that into a curriculum here for North Carolina. So some very exciting work that we're doing. So as you can see, just through these profiles, we have students who are doing work domestically, we have students who are doing work internationally, and we have students who are, using their superpowers, the different skills that they're building in many, many different ways. So I want you to imagine yourself with a cape, flying out there, gathering your skills, figuring out what you're going to do so we can be featuring you up here next summer as everybody else comes back. A little bit of history about the School of Environment. So we have a long and storied history, and what you might not know is that we celebrated our 25th anniversary 2 years ago, very exciting for us, but we are pulled together from very historical roots. We offer in the 1930s, we ended up offering one of the very first Masters of Forestry. So we've got a long and storied history when it comes to forestry. We are created out of 3 units: the Department of Geology, which was founded here on campus in 1936, the Marine Lab that was founded in 1938, and then the School of Forestry that was founded in 1938 as well. All of these were brought together in 1991 to form the School of the Environment, and now you are part of that tradition. We have many amazing facilities, and the opportunities in many ways are limitless in terms of what you can possibly pursue. Within the school itself, we have Duke Forest and we have the Marine Lab. I strongly encourage you to get out and enjoy these resources that we have. As a doctoral student, when I was here back in the 90s, I ended up living out in the middle of the Duke Forest for 2 years as I was writing my dissertation, and my dog, Kobe, and I would go on a walk every single day. That's all right. That's all good. That's okay, thanks. My dog and I would go on a walk every single day as I would try to process what I was doing, writing my thesis, my dissertation, and it was one of the great pleasures. Get out there and enjoy this environment. It's incredible. We're right in the middle of, it's a forest, it's a 7,000 acre forest. It's right here in the middle of Durham. And the Marine Lab is fantastic as well. One of the other things I would do is I would end up, friends and I would pile in the car on weekend, not every weekend, but every once in a while we pile in a car and head down to the Marine Lab and experience what our friends were doing down there. There are so many exciting things. I was a forestry person, so I didn't know what the marine people were doing. Getting down there and doing stuff with the Marine Lab, you know, it was just amazing to learn what everybody was doing down there. It has a very different vibe than the Durham campus. You should get down there and experience that vibe. The other thing, they've got boats, they have beach, they have rum. What's not to like? It's all good. So I know that there are probably about 25 or so of your students who will be coming from the second year students who will be going down to the Marine Lab out of the cohort, the second year cohort. And I think there are probably about 20 of you right now who are slated to be down there next summer. So make friends with those people so that you can go down there and visit them and learn about the Marine Lab. It's really worth it. You'll miss something if you don't get there. How many people are from North Carolina? All right, a handful of folks. So you know how fabulous this state is. Tell these other people how fabulous this state is. From the mountains to the Piedmont to the coast, there are so many things to do here. For those of you that don't know, you live in the Piedmont now. This is sort of the flat area of the state. The mountains are to the west of us, the coast is to the east of us. There are literally hundreds of amazing things to do, to get out and experience. Work hard, play hard, experience this state. You may know that we get a little bit mad in March around here. For those of you that are not familiar with March Madness, it's a big part of the basketball culture. That is Duke. Very proud of the basketball team. I am a huge ACC fan. I have one word: Zion. Truth. So I'm very excited for basketball season. Very excited for that to be coming up. I am also a huge fan of women's soccer. Women's soccer season just opened up last week. Thursday night opener against Ohio State University. I went to watch them win. Very, very exciting. It's a young team. They're coming along. And it's going to be really exciting to see them mature over this year. If sports are not your thing, that's all right. There are many, many other activities to engage in across campus. I will tell you that you have a volunteer opportunity available to you this week if you want to start to get engaged. A terrific opportunity to begin to learn your community, where you work. So there are 2 opportunities. One will be, and I don't have my notes, so I'm doing all of this from memory today. So I can't remember what the 2 opportunities are. I know there's one that is here on campus that's kind of a curriculum-oriented exercise on Wednesday, and there's one with America Beautiful. So Keep Durham Beautiful, which will be outside in the community to go and do. So sign up for those. Get to know the community where you're going to work. You're not quite as busy as you're going to be next week, so why don't you get out and enjoy the community and learn a little bit about it. So all that's good. I'd like to talk a little bit about diversity and inclusion and some of the things that we're doing here at the Nicholas School as I kind of wind down here. We really strive to build a community that welcomes people and to be inclusive as possible. The environmental profession is a very white profession in general, so we have a lot of work that we need to be doing. And we take that very seriously. 2 years ago, the Nicholas School engaged in a strategic planning exercise, and as part of that, we made a commitment to do curricular work, to do faculty work, to do student work, to do pipeline work, and we are very eager to get you involved in some of that work. We have a group on campus called the Actionators, and then we also have a student group called DICE. And so there are a couple of different ways that if that's a passion and you are concerned about those issues, we would love to have your help as we continue. You help push us in the right direction on these issues. And so I look for that encouragement, I look for that help, and I encourage you to get involved. So I'm going to end up with the fact that I'm going to have a series of lunches with the dean. I figure if I offer you some food, you might actually come and talk to me. So Sandy, my assistant, will be helpful in this respect. Sign up with her. We'll send out notices. The first one is scheduled for September 4th at noon. Come and sit with me. Let's share some food. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what your thoughts are. If I can be of helpful to you, this is a great way to connect with me. Always happy to hear about that. That's a little bit more public setting. If you've got something that you think needs my attention in a more private way, I am certainly at your disposal. Would love to hear from you. As part of a community like this, it's really important to know that you have rights, but you also have responsibilities. And part of that responsibility is to respect one another and treat one another well, with dignity. We live in very incivil times these days, and I find that personally very disturbing. And I want to create a school environment, a university environment, where we can all engage in discussions with each other that are respectful and dignified. That doesn't mean we shy away from controversy. It doesn't mean we are afraid of disagreeing with each other. It just means we need to do it in a much, much more respectful way. The challenge that we face in our society at large is we have lost our ability to actually have those conversations, to listen to each other, and to engage with each other in meaningful ways so that we can actually debate, disagree, and come away trying to understand a little bit about each other to forge a more common understanding of our collective well-being. And I would really like to see the Nicholas School, in all of the kind of work we do, work towards a more respectful environment. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Aretha, she died last week. They are words to live by, and it's good for all of us. Thank you. Welcome. Let's get to work.